A 9-day strike of Chicago teachers in September 2012 ended with a decisive victory against Mayor Rahm Emanuel and his drive to impose a corporate agenda on the public education system. After the victory, a teacher, Kirstin Roberts, a member of the CTU, reflected on lessons from the strike.
I began teaching in 2006. My first jobs were at social service agencies, contracting with Chicago public schools to provide preschool on the cheap. These were non-union, very low benefits, very long working hours, high staff, turnover jobs. They were also jobs working with some of the poorest and highest needs kids in the city. Kids with HIV, foster kids, kids with histories of extreme abuse, kids with cognitive and physical impairments. This combination, kids with the greatest needs, getting the least experience and worst compensated teachers, is, of course, no coincidence. One of the great contributions of the Chicago Teachers Union strike of 2012 is that this realization about our public education system and how the education reformers are transforming teachers into a short-term, lower-skill, lower-wage job, and is now being discussed not by a few, but by millions. Robbing the poor to pay the rich, and then having the nerve to blame the poor and the people who teach them for the very conditions the rich created. This is education policy in the richest country on earth. The Chicago Teachers Union strike, I believe, has made an important contribution of pushing these crimes into the spotlight as well. Yesterday at school, we ran out of hand soap. We took the children to the bathroom, and as they lined up to wash their hands, we realized our pump soap was running out. My heart sank because I knew that I had no more soap in my supply locker. This is a small thing, a minor thing, but it's also a big thing. See, we aren't provided soap in the bathrooms at our school. There isn't room in the budget. We beg our parents to donate soap to us, or we buy it out of our measly supply budget, or we pay for it out of pocket. It's hard to explain, but these are the daily, petty failures that add up over time. The message becomes so clear. You and your students aren't worth it. If nobody had soap, if there was a worldwide soap shortage, then it wouldn't hurt. But it's obvious that some people's children will always have clean hands and so much more. Some people's children will go to schools with 7 full-time art teachers. Some children will go to school with none. Some children will go to schools where student-to-teacher ratios are 9-to-1. And some children will go to kindergarten with 42 5-year-old friends and 1 teacher. It's not hard to guess whose children gets the things that make school worthwhile and enriching and whose children don't. The greatest contribution of this strike is highlighting for all to see this injustice being perpetuated unto our children. This strike alone couldn't solve this injustice, but asserting that all children deserve what Rahm Emanuel's and Penny Prexer's children get, we have contributed to the building of a movement that in no small measure will be able to mobilize the kind of power necessary to tackle the iniquities. As we all know, round 2 is coming, and we must prepare and go stronger than we were in round 1, because their side is also drawing lessons, planning, and preparing. Round 2 is shaping up to be the battle over school closures. Rumors are swirling, but one thing is certain. Chicago Public Schools plans more closures and turnarounds of failing schools than we've ever seen before. And as we enter into this next fight, it is important than ever that we don't lose the sight of the significance of what we're fighting for. On that note, let me quote from a letter the staff at my school sent home to our families when we returned from the strike. We fought for the belief that all students can learn and deserve high-quality public education. We fought for the right to safe, healthy, well-maintained school buildings. We fought for class size reduction because the number of students per teacher does make a difference. We fought to stop excessive student testing. We fought for more social services that our students need. We fought for equal investment and funding for all schools, for equality and equity in education. We fought for an end of poverty and violence that so many of our students struggle with every day. We also know that we must continue to stay committed to the realization of these beliefs and rights.